What's up, y'all? Highlight Hendo here with Curb Dog Sports. What the hell was that, Raider Nation?
Yeah, that was all bad. We just got blown out of the water.
You had a little bit of hope in the beginning. It was like, oh, maybe this is going to be like the Texans game, and maybe it's just kind of like going to come out and we'll kind of pull it out in the second half a little bit. I thought maybe halftime I was like, okay, if we can get 21 unanswered points, this can really be something. And then boom, Saints scored again.
We looked
Der-
worse in the second half.
yeah, I mean, Derek looked bad. It's not that Josh looked bad. They didn't have the opportunity. And I mean, it was really the O line. I mean, where was
Yeah,
Colton Miller? Where was Dylan Parham? I mean, they did not leave any help for Jacob to get through. They didn't use any of their fullback tactics. Like, they went out there and just wung it.
yeah. They tried to have Carr throw a lot during the game, and the O line wasn't able to hold, and it sure wasn't able to hold during the run plays, which was like super limited. We didn't see a lot of it because we were down the whole game. So it was just a bad game, man. McDaniels, I don't know. Like I don't know how you go from losing 1 point to the Chiefs from getting blown out of the water by a team that uses two quarterbacks. And just the fact that the defense wasn't able to adjust to Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill ran all over us. Alvin Kamara ran all over us, and Olave ran all over us, and it was just bad.
It seems like the Saints learned from their mistakes playing with the Cardinals. And it feels like we were playing the Cardinals all over again. I mean, we had the quarterback running all over us. We can't stop a rushing quarterback to save our life. It was pure just dominance. It was just pure dominance. It was,
Yeah,
I mean, we looked like fools out there in the secondary, in the middle of the field, right at the defensive line.
yeah,
I mean, the the O line. I mean, the receivers. It's like dropping catches. It's like one on one. You know what I mean? One on one. You just hands in the air, just ball flopping. I mean,
yeah. Adams was a non-factor. Renfro was a non-factor. Holland's got a couple menial pit plays. It was just bad all around, man.
but
Jake.
All of Holland's plays, well, at
Hmm.
least most of them, were that thing that we suck at, which is getting plays right up the middle. I was trying to say
Yeah,
that we're kind of similar in terms of team structure and play structure, and it's
right,
like they are horrible at stopping passes up the middle, short passes up the middle. I mean, like
right.
they would get blown out against the Chiefs because Travis Kelsey would mop all over them.
Yeah,
It's
and it's stupid because we had the ability to do that today, and we just couldn't get it done. I think a lot of it comes from the line. I think a lot of it comes from coaching. I don't know what
yeah.
McDaniel's plan is going on the future of the Raiders. I'm not here to make predictions about that because I obviously don't know. It makes you think if the season's like a wash in his mind, or I don't know, dude. This team's playing horrible.
I was kind of worried. If you guys watch Raiders Roundtable, Dave Ziegler was on there and he was talking about how they're just really focused on 2023, and they're focused on draft picks and acquiring players and structuring the team for the 2023 season. And I'm kind of worried that they did throw this season away. I mean, for as good as Josh Jacobs is on his contract year, playing as hard as he is, he loves the Raiders and hasn't been talking about wanting to go anywhere else. But I don't think we're going to pay him, and I feel like someone else is going to come up and give him what he deserves unless we step up and realize how valuable he is and really start using him the right way and giving him the protection. Like we talked about car insurance. Well, we need insurance for Jacobs too, because that's our identity. If we're a run team, we need to protect that man, and we did not do that today at all.
I think in their minds after today, everybody's liable to be traded, but I don't know. Nothing they're doing is making sense. They tried to do a fake punt on like 4th and 2, and that was horrible, and it was just a bad game all around.
The trick plays are kind of worrying me. I mean,
They didn't even do them really. Besides that fake punt, they didn't do any of those weird flea flicker plays like they have been doing.
like
You
even in
know,
against the Texans, like that stuff kind of started to worry me because I was like, why are they having to resort to like these college type,
yeah,
plays to just to get yardage? You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's
I
you
think
know
I think it's something like between the players and the coaches, like the players aren't understanding what the coaches want, and maybe it even stems from like the coaches, their schemes have something wrong with them. I don't know. I'm not a coach, so I can't explain it, but man, we're not looking good. There's no way in my mind I thought we'd be 2-5 right now. Especially with the schedule we have. Let's be honest, we do not have a hard schedule, but it's that time in the season where you're starting to see teams separate, and the Raiders are definitely at the bottom. So,
I mean, this was supposed to be, we're supposed to win the game against the Saints. The Jags are looking good, so it's like, oh man, maybe that one might be a tough one. And that one, if anything, seemed like we had the biggest possibility of losing to be a blowout type game like this. But I mean, if the Saints game looks like this, I'm worried that we can lose to the Colts.
oh yeah, dude,
It's
we can lose to any. We can lose to any of these teams we're playing now, for sure. We can lose to any of these teams. There's no guarantee we're winning any of these games, even against the Broncos. As much as I hate to say it, like
yeah, yeah.
after today, we can lose to anybody. We finished the season playing the Niners and the Chiefs. Like, I don't think we're not getting in the playoffs. Like, we're basically done.
I really think they threw this season away. I feel like I mean I want someone to go interview Mark Davis. I want someone to figure out what he is really
And
feeling.
that's what the coaches are for, though.
I mean, it's like, but he picks the coaches. It's
Yeah,
like he
that's true.
he picked Josh McDaniels.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And whether Josh McDaniels picked Patrick Graham or not,
yeah,
whoever it is, it all stems from Mark. And I mean, let's the Raiders haven't really been doing so good. Like they've been doing all right, but it's like
not really
what
though.
exactly? Not really though. It's like why would you not keep Bisaccia or I mean roll with some sort of momentum? They completely destroyed all of the momentum that they had from their playoff season last season.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Destroyed all of that momentum. It was like,
Yeah,
okay, we got to the playoffs, but we didn't get any further than that. So let's just rebuild the team completely.
yeah,
And that, I mean, it has not served us well at all. I mean, clearly by a record.
yeah,
And I mean, there's been speculation of Josh McDaniels since day one.
yeah,
And I mean, Patrick Graham's defensive schemes have been questionable,
yeah,
to say the least. And I mean, today I feel like was the biggest output of it in terms of Patrick Graham always talks about in his press conferences practice. It always comes back to practice and fundamentals and this and even if you don't have guys to practice those fundamentals and you're using sleds or whatever it is, I don't think that they're practicing enough, especially on the road. They're 0-4 on the road. They either don't practice enough on the road or they're not practicing correctly on the road. Whether it's the facility that they're at or whatever it is, they are not putting in as much. I mean, maybe they're spoiled from Intermountain Healthcare Performance Center. It's
yeah.
maybe it's
Maybe.
maybe it's too nice. Maybe if they go somewhere else and it's but they came from Oakland. They came from the Coliseum with troughs in the bathrooms. You know what I mean? For the fans, it's like
Yeah,
I know not all of them came from there, but that's again the problem I feel like of rebuilding the whole regime. From the ground up is like you have folks that were never in the Coliseum.
yeah,
You have folks that don't even know what it's like to to play like that, and all of a sudden they're in Vegas. Night lights and big fancy beautiful brand new stadium, big fancy beautiful practice field. It's like they're spoiled in a sense, and I feel like the cockiness and you know the trickery of Josh McDaniels isn't enough right now. Like my point is, we were in the playoffs last season, and now it's like we're not even close. So how
yeah,
does that happen? We acquired more weapons. We have better projections. I mean, Josh Jacobs is having a career year so far, and we're already basically out of the playoffs.
yep.
It's I mean, it's really a joke. So I'm curious on what Mark Davis thinks. I'm curious on what his thoughts are. I'm curious on why he made these moves in the first place. I want to know what Josh McDaniels thinks of his own work so far throughout this season. I mean, like just not even as a head coach himself, as an individual, but just as a team. Like, let alone from the players, is like there are so many people on the staff sitting on the sideline. Is everyone doing their job correctly? Where are they falling short? I want to say it starts from the office down. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the players are there to do their part. You know, we acquired the players because they know how to do what they know how to do. But if we can't tell them how to do what we want them to do, then they can't get it done. Dude, it's like
It sucks. It's just we're screwed. But we'll see what kind of moves they make before they need to make. I don't know. We'll
they
see
need to
what
do something for the trade deadline.
like I don't know. It's they need to figure something out. It's a screw.
It all depends if they care about this season or not. If they care about this season, they'll make trade
They
moves.
obviously don't. We're 2-5. They're not gonna fucking try and fucking rally. I mean, of course they're gonna say they're gonna try and rally the team, but look at
They
the team doesn't even know what they're supposed to do, dude. It's just flat out we're done, basically. I say.
so if they're giving up on the 2022 season, Dave Ziegler, my message for you is you're not going to get anywhere in 2023 if you're giving up on the players in 2022. Josh Jacobs is performing for you. And if you're not going to pay the man, if you're not going to give the man the respect and let the team build the way it needs to build, your 2023 season is going to fall flat on its face. And you're going to have more of these blowout games than you are wins. Plain and simple.
Yep. Well, we'll see what they do before November 1st, and we'll see how next week goes. But it's not looking pretty. So
Hopefully, man, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Saints were tougher than the Jags, and maybe we'll pull some out against the Jags. You know, let's watch some tape and see who's out on the injury report. Might get lucky. We're gonna
yeah.
need it.
All right. Well, Curb Dog Sports out.
Highlight Hendo. See ya next time. All right, Raider Nation.